Hello, everybody. We are back. Apologies for the silence for the past 2 minutes. I was getting ready and making sure everything was a-okay. Set up over on the timing, basically, just making sure everything in the stream was also going well. We are back live for the final time tonight here in practice, here for the EastWest World Series, presented by EastWest Promotions, SARA, and TNT Family Investments. They provide more than 80 rental and vacation homes over in Panama City, Florida. I am bringing you, for unfortunately the final night, and fortunately because my voice is gone, for the final night, I'm Gary Wavy, providing the commentary and the camera work as well. So unfortunately, it's the last night. Fortunately for my voice, it will be over with. I feel bad for my voice, but it's been good. It's lasted this long, and just one more race, one more qualifying session as well. So lights are on around the racetrack. Everyone's looking forward to this race, and while we are here waiting for everyone to put in their qualifying times, just want to remind everyone that this isn't the only thing that we do over on the Racing Line at Broadcasting Network. We also do, or I also do, since it's a solo thing, I also do two other series, the My Turn Racing Truck series, which they're doing the Roval in reference, or memory in this case, to the Rockingham, UK racetrack that was skinned back in 2015. And, well, they're going to race the Roval in memory of that in the event that Rockingham, UK never really becomes a thing. Hopefully it will. I'm actually interested in that track. As far as Monday goes, well, first off, the Sunday series, they have about 4 races left, I believe, and this starts at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Time. Usually, it's of course, this series ends just before daylight savings is in effect, so there is that. So the Red Light Scrambler series on Mondays as well, about 6 p.m., I believe, local time for me, so that'd be 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as of now, where daylight savings is not in effect. But for now, we are here at New Smyrna for the final time tonight. I am quite looking forward to whoever is going to come out on top, to see who comes out on top, I should say, after this race. Qualifying, speaking of on top, in qualifying it is Devin Morgan. He has qualified at first on the pole. Justin LeDuc has yet to qualify. Same with Devin Rogers. We're watching Joe Schaefer Jr. He was successful in the modified series earlier on tonight. He came across the start-finish line. He's in first right now, so we'll see where Riley Stensham appears on the scoring charts. Now look over to the far left where it says currently. He comes across the line, and he will place in no position. I believe he must have scraped the wall in that case. He must have scraped the wall then. Dallas Pataska, meanwhile, is going to be running his lap times. We'll see where he shows up as he's over on the back straightaway. Pataska will end up second. It looks like he's going to abandon this run while he will. David Krikorian just coming off of pit road. Same with Justin LeDuc. They were waiting until the final couple minutes. So we'll see where LeDuc and Krikorian sit in qualifying as they each start their lap times. We're going to be switching in between. And LeDuc is going to, he must have gotten that corner entry wrong, but he's going to restart, reset, and try one more attempt. Krikorian, meanwhile, he's going to be running his final lap right now. So he'll come across the start-finish line and end up in 13th. As far as LeDuc, he's going to restart his lap time. And David Krikorian, second attempt. Actually, no, he'll abandon that. So it's just Justin LeDuc who has to qualify. We may be getting another solo, unintentional solo heat. Might. We'll find out as Justin Ledoux comes across the line. His position in the field is 15th. Michael Goddard is in 10th. He's already done with his lap times. He's just running some extra laps while he still has the chance. So we're going to see if we're going to be stuck with another unintentional heat, and maybe. That is a big maybe, where we may be stuck with an unintentional heat. In that case, it would be 30 laps. So we'll wait just a little bit. We have 30 seconds to find out whether or not this heat is able to be skipped or not. Hopefully it will be, as, long-time name has joined the spectators. Jason Tarasenko, he's over in spectators. Haven't seen his name in a very long time, to be honest. Meanwhile, David Krikorian is running some of his extra lap times. This qualifying is just about to end. So we'll wait and figure out if it's going to be a heat race or not a heat race. 5 minutes of warm-up. That appears to be a good sign. Yep, alright, overridden heat. We're not doing an unintentional heat this time. So it's fully nighttime as we are under warm-up right now. So we could basically just speak with Pulsator now, who is Joe Schaefer Jr., but he is a bit busy right now, I assume. He's not even available, actually, so that's quite understandable. So this is going to be the last race of the night, so we're just going to watch qualifying and, sorry, not qualifying, warm-up and enjoy the sights and sounds of warm-up. And see where this takes us into the race. So we're going to go ahead and bring in longtime commentator Derek Robinson while he is currently in the car. What could possibly go wrong with this? Well, let's see what he has to think about this. Let's bring him in here in a few moments. Derek Robinson, do you have us?
He damn near killed her. Hello?
Hey, Derek.
Hey.
Well, how goes the car out there?
Oh, it's hot garbage. I'm on my 6th car here for the team for this week. Ran through some tour mod chassis and tore them all to hell, and tore up a couple of super late models as well, and a couple of them are my doing, and the other ones just caught up in other people's incidents, and not going too well. So I'm just kind of experimenting with the setup here since I got nothing else to lose, and we'll just see how she goes. Just try to keep it clean tonight and get all 125 laps in, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, hopefully you will be able to get all 125 in. So hopefully, hopefully you will be able to get that car sorted out later on in this race. But we're gonna go ahead and let you go.
All right, thanks, bud.
So that was Derek Robinson. Almost pulled him at the wrong time. He's probably having a conversation with his teammates and some other drivers as we take a look at Krikorian, who actually has his name on his helmet. That is actually very clever. But apologies for any sound issues that appeared there. Monitoring was active over on streaming, so that is why. Devin Morgan first in the timing charts here in warm-up. Once again, this race is brought to you by T&T Family Investments. where they provide 80 rental homes in rental and vacation homes, I should say, over in Panama City, Florida. Watching Riley Stengham now. He finished second place, won the championship in the Tour mods, while simultaneously keeping half of his car alive and somehow being able to keep the car going, managing a very broken steering axle. But he did finish 12th and he still won, so he does have a chance. So warm-up coming to a close, and the main 125 laps will be up in about 30 seconds time. So the time is over on warm-up, and we are about to go green for this 125 lap main event here tonight. So starting on the front row, hoping that this is correct, and it is, we're going to head over to the qualifying so we can see these drivers' lap times. Joe Schaefer Jr. will be starting in first place. Second place is Dallas Patashka, just 200ths, almost 300ths of a second behind for his lap time, but he did a great job to manage that second place. Second row holds Devin Morgan and Ryan Matthews, the 112 and 51. Props to Ryan Matthews for still continuing to race. Hopefully he's feeling just a little bit better. As he had mentioned, his cat had passed on yesterday during a race. So hopefully Ryan is feeling just a little bit better. Either way, good luck to him. As we have Tim Bills starting at 5th, as Ryan Doucette in the 71 starts on the outside in 6th place. Andre Fiorni in the 07 starts 7th appropriately. Dante Curtis in the 53 starts 8th place. 9th place holds Brian Helm in position number 9. Michael Goddard rounds out the top 10. Sean Hatfield and Chris Canfield. I'm starting to see a little bit of an unintentional pattern here, but Sean Hatfield and Chris Canfield are starting 11th and 12th. 13th is going to be David Krikorian at 14th, I should say. It's going to be Derek Robinson, who's hopefully going to be able to hold on to the rest of that car, as he said it was, quote, hot garbage. So hopefully he will be able to make some adjustments and at least finish out this race. Justin LeDuc starts in 27th. Starts in 15th, rather, in car number 27. Adam Jocelyn starts 16th, 17th. Devin Rogers, 18th, and Mark Royer. And running out the field is Riley Stengham in 19th. So the pace car will be pulling off here this time by. And will be underway for 125 laps for the final time this week here at New Smyrna. Pace car is off, green flag is out, Joe Schaefer Jr. is down and away, and we're underway. So as scoring sorts itself through, we have a side-by-side battle between Ryan Matthews and Ryan Doucette. They almost made contact for turn number 4 early on. They're battling for, that's Ryan Matthews and Devin Morgan. They're battling for 3rd place on the racetrack. Oh, someone's up over on their side. That's a 26 of Brian Helm, heavy into the outside wall. Oh, replay coming up as he gets his car back going. Not sure what happened. Maybe just unintentionally got, my goodness, the 38 got a wonderful view for a few moments there. I believe Brian Helm did manage to get that car going. He does. After a very wild ride there. They're almost 3 wide for a moment. in turns 1 and 2. You can see the 03 of Canfield. Oh, the 38 checked up. Canfield moves to the inside. And I believe the 26 just thought he was clear. Unfortunately, he was not. Canfield got a interesting view of that. Replay it coming up from the onboard of his camera from the main start. Checked up. That's what happened. Just an accordion effect. And just same space. No room. So the pace car is out this time by. Very early on as well. Coming to lap 5 of 125. I believe lights should be going out this time around, and they will not. They'll go out next time around on lap 6 with 120 laps to go. So lights are out this time by on the pace car, and we'll be going back green with 119 laps remaining, and we'll see who sorts out where. And well, Joe Schaefer Jr. has been great on these starts. He was great last night in the tour mods, getting these main starts in the 125 lap events. These restarts he is great at, so we'll see if Pataska can match him. Doesn't seem to for the time being, because the green flag is out and already single file for first and second. Third place, well, not so much. Devin Morgan topside, Ryan Matthews inside. A reverse of what we saw just before the caution had come out. Adam Jocelyn having a lot of bad luck. He's pulling it off early on. As battle for third continues, Matthews edges ahead at the start-finish line. And Devin Morgan tries to stay on that top side, but it's not going to work right now. He'll get closed off, crossover for Morgan, and he won't try and go for it early on, because, well, for starters, it's early on, only lap 8, but somebody who's definitely going to go for something is Pataska going for the lead, but the caution is out just as Pataska is making the move. Derek Robinson is unfortunately involved, same as Justin LeDuc. I believe Riley Stenjum had gotten a piece of it, or he was just moving through the wreck. But unfortunately, Derek Robinson, just so much bad luck for him already. So LeDuc top side, we'll find out if he just tried to move to the inside way too late. Somebody else got a piece of that. That looks to be 25 of Devin Rogers. Again, on board from his view. Oh man, I don't think he expected that to happen quickly, so that's why the 69 Robinson just got quickly turned around. Well, back under caution for the second time early on in this run. Same thing happened last night. A few cautions early on. I think only about 3 cautions last night in the 125 lap event for the tour mods. So nothing too much of a difference. I believe it was actually only 2 cautions. We could also be seeing some pit stops happen as well. So we'll see if anyone decides to have any strategy come into effect for this race. So this time by, the lights should be out on the pace car, and we will be going back green on lap number 15. So lights on the pace car are out. And we'll be going back green. Field in control of Joe Schaefer Jr. in the number 6. He's down in the way early on as the green flag is out. He's side by side for second early on between Pataska and Matthews. Oh, Pataska got sideways a little bit off turn 2. Turn 4, I should say. He's a little bit sideways off the corner. They did manage to hang on to it. Matthews slides in front of Morgan. And looks like we're about 3 wide in the back for a few moments. That's between the 05, the 36, and I think the 66 as well. The 051 actually, not the 05. As far as the top 4 goes, well, everyone is already single file out. The only drivers that we have side by side are Sean Hatfield and Derek Robinson for 14th, and Justin LeDuc and Devin Rogers side by side for 16th. Looks like that 14th place is, nope, never mind. I was going to say it was going to go to Sean Hatfield. I called that way too early. Now it's going to go to Hatfield. So it looks like LeDuc will be taking over the 16th place position from Devin Rogers. Pataska on a charge. Trying to catch up as soon as possible, trying to get alongside Joe Schaefer Jr., and he could be doing it here, but he decides against it. And still trying to get to the inside as we just watch and listen on board from Dallas Pataska. He's trying to get to the inside. He has a little bit of momentum, but it's just not going to work out. He's got to find the perfect opportunity, find a good place to get the run, as these drivers are virtually equal in lap times. Speaking of which, both drivers put a 17.7. The .89 went to Joe Schaefer Jr. The 17.789 is Joe Schaefer Jr. The 17.778 was Dallas Pataska. So Pataska was slightly faster. These drivers are just scraping alongside that outside wall. Ryan Matthews has just been laying here in 3rd place. Just casually watching this go on in front of him, even though there really isn't much to watch for the time being, but it could be. It's a little bit of a comparison. All drivers are within the fastest of the top 4 is Devin Morgan, the 112, as Pataska got loose off turn 2. Devin Morgan, unfortunately, has fallen way back from a 17.8 to an 18.3. It's comparing his last 2 lap times. So he must have either really smacked that wall off turn 4, or he's trying to hold up and just save his car as much as he can. Tires, fuel, everything. So it looks like Matthews is going to fall back just ever so slightly. Schaefer and Pataska still with each other. Pataska is trying to stick with that back bumper. You can see how close he's getting. Let's take a look at the comparison. Even though it's pretty obvious how close Pataska is. We can at least see the lap time comparisons at the start-finish line this time around. Ooh, I think Schaefer had gotten loose that time. But 17.969 from Schaefer, and Pataska has a 17.944, and it shows right there on the entry to turn 3. That's the advantage that Pataska gets in the middle of the corner, and, well, looks like Schaefer just has a little bit of an advantage on the runoff. So aside from first place, oh, never mind, I was about to say, aside from first place, the second closest battle on the track is between Andre Fiorni and Dante Curtis. But they're also single file for the time being. So head back to first place. I guess Pataska may move on the inside. He'll try again. He'll look to the inside. Almost dived it in there. But he decides against it. Holds off. A very smart move. Because Matthews, right on board with the 51. He's just watching this happening in front of him. Waiting for the right moment to strike. And when these two go side by side, that's going to be the best moment for Matthews. He could follow Pataska through and shuffle Joe Schaefer down to third place. Thing is, he just has to hope for Pataska to get to the inside, because that 6 just got loose off the corner, and that 23 is looking for that lead. He's hoping for it. They're basically virtually identical. He's looking to the inside now. Turn 1, it's not gonna, it will happen actually. I think Schaefer wanted to shut the door. He decided against it. Pataska wanted to back out. He went for it. There's the protection to the inside lane by Joe Schaefer Jr. And he'll retain that lead. Looks like Ryan Matthews has slowly caught up to this battle, so he may try to say, you know what, if you're not going to do anything, I'll just make the move for you. But Matthews keeps getting there, but he keeps losing the momentum on the exit. So the 6 and 23 seem to be better on the exit of these corners here at New Smyrna. Joe Schaefer dived to the inside just a little bit early. I thought Pataska was going to make a move to the outside, but I'm half tempted to switch to another battle that's going on. I think we'll do that for the time being. Side by side, Tim Bills makes contact. He'll spin around. Oh, sideways. Now he goes run. Oh, Stenjum heavily involved. Oh, that's going to really mess up the engine for sure. Well, we saw that as it happened, but we're going to give a replay anyway, especially from the onboard of the 77 machine, as Tim Bills had gotten tagged from behind after getting moved up the racetrack ever so slightly, unintentionally, of course, by Dante Curtis. Curtis was racing him hard the past 2 corners, actually, so we'll start the replay from there. You see how close Tim Bills was trying to squeeze that 53 down. They made contact there, so if the 53 was going to race hard, that's definitely how short track racing is. Well, you can race me hard, I'll race you hard even more. The 07, I believe, of Andre Fiorni tags the 37, sends him around when Tim Bills had gotten loose. Again, onboard shot from the 77. He was a good ways back, but unfortunately it just didn't seem to be enough. I think the 38 of oh man, that hard shot. I think the 38 of Goddard had also gotten a piece of that wreck as well. But he may have avoided it. We'll find out here. Oh wow! Oh my goodness! Great driving by the 38. He was very lucky that there was absolutely nobody behind him for the most part, because he probably would have gotten just a bit tagged from behind as well when he was trying to check up. So that is impressive heads-up driving by Michael Godwin in that 38. So the pace car will relinquish the lead to Joe Schaefer Jr. once again. Pataska still stuck on the outside. We're going to ride on board with Pataska for this restart. In fact, we'll ride along board with Ryan Doucette. Oh, he was really caught off guard. He didn't get going, but a great job at least sticking with the field. I'm pretty sure expected the leaders to go just a little bit later. He's side by side at the moment with the 38. Oh, spin in the back, saving it. I think that was Mark Royer in the 36. It was. That was the 051, actually, of Sean Hatfield. He had almost spun in the back, but he managed to save it. Your top four is relatively the same in real time. As far as the start-finish line, well, that may say otherwise if Morgan can get across the start-finish line before Sean Hatfield. Ooh, before Ryan Matthews, I should say. And these two will not give up their positions whatsoever. Top side, oh, spin in the back is the 71. That's Ryan Doucette. He's around. Oh my goodness, the 36 of Royer just came in full speed practically. It looked like full speed, but it surely was not. Doucette around for sure, however, off of turn number 2. I got loose off the turn. Oh, I got tagged by the 07. Spun out. Oh, Stengham again. More contact. As if that wasn't enough for the previous caution he was involved in. Well, he just got insult to injury for sure. He just cannot catch a break. He's still in the top 10 as of now, as of real time. As far as Mark Royer, he went in flying. So, we're going to see if he just couldn't break in time, but we're going to ride on board with him. I did have a little bit of previous damage, it seems. Oh, he got tagged from behind by the 26 of Brian Helm, who also was checking up, so it was just another one of those chain reaction events. And it's the positioning of the car as well. So they both braked, and the 36 and the 26, while they both were trying to in a way take the same line, but at the same time they weren't, so they're just trying to somehow find their way through. Unfortunately, they could not. So the lights on the pace car will remain on this time by. So they should be off next time around on lap number 51. And I'll be going back green on lap 52. Lights on the pace car are back out. I'll be going green here in just a few moments. As of now, we've had 9 cars head to pit road, 1 car give a pass through. 9 cars basically stopped in their stall, 10 cars to pit road in total, and all 19 drivers are still on the racetrack. The most someone has ever been in their pit stall is 45.9 seconds That's Derek Robinson for repairing some damage. As the green flag is back out, we are underway once again and still side by side. Ryan Matthews and Devin Morgan. I'm starting to see a pattern here where two drivers just cannot seem to leave each other because they want the position as much as the next person. Both of their cars are great on opposite lines of the racetrack. Looks like Matthews is going to be a little bit faster on the top side. Almost gets tagged by Morgan, who sort of slides up entering turn number 1, but he is fine for the time being. Now let's go back to 4th place. Side by side, short time between Fiorni and Stenjum. Nope, never mind. Stenjum goes back down to the inside. Oh, contact nearly. Trying to find some type of a way at Stenjum. He's trying to find his way around that 07 as much as he can, as quickly as he can as well. And he'll finally get it around. Dante Curtis moves to the inside of Goddard nearly. But Dallas Pataska is also trying to get back onto the inside lane. Remember, the last time Dallas Pataska got to the inside of Joe Schaefer, the caution was out. So Pataska may be given a break here if he can quickly get back into that rhythm, get that momentum back. Wear those tires and ever so slightly heat up those tires and go for that lead once again. For the time being, everyone seems to be relatively single file. The closest battle does not seem to exist whatsoever. Well, there is a closest battle. There isn't really a side-by-side battle, I should say. The closest battle is in between your entire top 4, essentially, as they're all under a blanket for first place. And when one person makes the move, the rest follow. So if Dallas Pataska makes the move, you can see the brake rotors in all 3 of these cars, possibly Devin Morgan, if we could get an angle of that. But side-by-side for 5th either way, Dante Curtis on the inside of Michael Goddard in the 38. But for 1st place, almost for 2nd place, there was a move to the outside, but we'll head back to this 5th place battle. You can see how easily, how bright those rotors are glowing, is how much heat they're put under. Curtis trying to get under Goddard. He's trying to get beside, at least. He almost tags the 38, entering the corner. And he's going to stay on the inside, but he'll relinquish that for the time being. Goddard gives him room on the inside. There's that sportsmanship. And finally, for sure, single file. They'll fall back into their single file running order. As for the lead, or in this case, your top 4, it's the same 4 drivers. The 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr., 23 of Dallas Pataska, 51 of Ryan Matthews, tags Pataska, and the 112 of Morgan was there at the wrong moment. Just the equating effect, very, very visibly shown there. I had absolutely no idea what to say for a few moments. But my goodness, Ryan Matthews caused a little bit of a chain reaction there, but he's doing a great job either way, hanging on to the 3rd. Same with Morgan hanging on, same with Pataska, because he was sideways, essentially, through the corner. And here's the view from the back bumper. Look at how close that Dallas Pataska is getting. Pataska could essentially put the bumper to Joe Schaefer. It's past halfway right now, but I'm pretty sure Pataska does not want to get a... though caution's out on the racetrack, it could be. It is for the 38 of Michael Goddard. Up over in turns 3 and 4. He'll get back rolling now. We'll find out what happened here. Looks like it came off of turn number 4. He got loose into the outside wall. Oh, the 53 of Curtis went to the inside. I don't think he even made any contact. If he did, it was very light and definitely wasn't able to take the air off. We have another camera angle available. 38 gets loose. Curtis moves to the inside. I believe that was just a little bit of netcode there, but oh, the 07 went around as well. Oh my goodness, into the 27. That's a 4-car incident. A 6-car incident. Oh my goodness. And that was just a lone car spin for a few moments. But the 26 was involved. The 07 was apparently a one-car incident, has turned into a multi-car incident. And, oh man, just trying to avoid, Stengham almost got involved. The 83 was involved, 27, 051, 71, 26. That's 7, 8 cars that have at least made contact in total. Again, on board with the 26 for sure of Brian Helm. There's the wreck in front. There's the secondary wreck. Oh, Doucette got loose trying to save it, or trying to avoid the wreck, and he didn't get enough damage to really warrant anything major. So Doucette should be fine for the most part. But a few drivers are currently in their pit stalls, Michael Goddard being one of them. He is currently in his pit stall repairing his car. So we only have 7 drivers that have not yet went to pit road. And 5 of those are in the top 10. The other 3, I believe I miscounted actually, 8 drivers have not went to pit road. Again, top 5 are in the top 5 essentially. The other 3 are Adam Jocelyn, Tim Bills, and Sean Hatfield. Have not went to pit road at all in this race at any point whatsoever. So these drivers are committed. Same with the ones that are still repairing their cars. Michael Goddard is back out on the racetrack. So he is committed to finishing this event no matter what. So lights on the pace car are back out. And the field will be in control of Joe Schaefer Jr. once again. I wonder if Dallas Patasco is going to try and anticipate a start from Schaefer and somehow stay alongside on the restart. That would be pretty impressive. So pace car pulls off, green flag is out, and well, Schaefer Jr. and second place of Patasca single file. It may have spoken too soon because here comes Matthews on the inside instead of Morgan. He's going to go for that 23, but that 23 pulls away, protects the inside lane just as they enter turn number 3. Just watching these battles occur side by side here. Pretty much all within about a tenth of each other, I believe. Not even a tenth. A little bit larger than a tenth. And finally, Ryan Matthews gets passed by Devin Morgan, but that was, of course, a fluke in Ryan Matthews' case because he got loose off turn number 4 and turn number 2 this time by. So these drivers are really trying to hang on as much as they can. So finally, Devin Morgan is in the lead. We'll take a look at Riley Stengham battling the 83 of Adam Jocelyn. They're side by side. Almost makes contact. They do make contact. Jocelyn goes around. 37 of Tim Bills hard into the inside. Doucette involved. The 051 of Hatfield also involved in this wreck. That may have just taken out some drivers for sure. Tim Bills being one of them. He's still rolling. Sean Hatfield's engine, maybe. He is still rolling as well. Suppress how? Well, his steering is definitely destroyed. I'll say that. But somehow, no one has a broken engine from that. I am honestly surprised after they just hit quite literal concrete on the inside. Oh my goodness. Again with the chain reactions. As if one wasn't enough. Well, here you have multiple. 77 gets a piece of it. Tim Bills hard shot. My goodness. I am surprised that Hatfield does not. I'm surprised all 3 of those drivers that have nailed the inside wall and more contact afterwards. Not sure if that was in retaliation or not, because I don't think the 31 had anything to do with the 051. Or sorry, the 37 had anything to do with the 051. Maybe it's just trying to get turned back around so quick that was Hatfield's in the way, but either way, Fellows gets, or sorry, tap from behind was Derek Robinson. Doesn't get the back bumper there. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, Hatfield managed to get fired back up either way, impressively enough. And he's still in pit road, but he's still on the racetrack. No one has retired in this race as of yet. So lights are out on the pace car. And we will be going green once again here on lap number 80. Currently on lap 79, lap 80 coming up, and that's when we will get the green. I'll see if Pataska can anticipate this start this time from Schaefer Jr. Unless Pataska is purposely holding back, we'll ride on board. Let's find out. It's just the reaction time. Schaefer caught him off guard for sure. Great job as, oh, Morgan was right on top of the back bumper 23, almost turned him around unintentionally. Curtis and Krikorian side by side for 5th. As sliding up the racetrack is going to be Curtis, and oh, crash in the back. 83 gets in the 26, and the 07 also involved. No caution. It may have to be race control thrown. That's Brian Helm. No caution by anybody. Not iRacing or race control. It just happened so quick. It was in the back of the field anyways, so I can kind of see that point. But either way, well, now it's going to be Canfield and Krikorian side by side. Because Krikorian has just gotten shuffled out of the top 5 there by Dante Curtis. Top 4 all still within a blanket of each other. Krikorian trying to battle Canfield on the inside lane. Canfield holding strong, top side in 6th. He's doing the best that he can. He's doing an absolutely amazing job. Not to get a great runoff though. He's got half a car length at the start-finish line, but on the corner entry, as Krikorian slides up, on corner entry it seems to be the 66. Corner exit seems to be the 03. We'll find out. Yeah, it looks like, oh, I think Krikorian may have gotten loose as well. He's still hanging on to that inside lane, however. And he may have just lost, unfortunately, so he will relinquish that 6th place. As far as the lead lap goes, well, it is now Schaefer Jr., Pataska, Morgan. 4th and 5th are Matthews and Curtis. One driver's off the racetrack, and it's Andre Fiorni. One driver pretty much out of the race, I should say, is Andre Fiorni. Look at Morgan taking to the top side. He's going to take to the inside now, trying to get to the inside of Pataska. Morgan finally has an opportunity to get up to the lead, but the longer these two go side by side, they almost make contact. Oh, never mind. I was about to say it. Pataska gets turned by the 51. Matthews saves it. Amazing driving and kills the pit entry cone ever so slightly. Just nudged the entry cone, but Mike, that was amazing driving by the 23. Well, he'll be side by side with Krikorian for now, but the 23 has a lot of work to do. Oh, it slides off the corner. This is quite interesting because Pataska is somehow hanging on to this after nearly spinning out loose off turn 2 that time by a little bit of a wiggle. And it's very smooth on the wheel this time by. He'll get to 7th. As far as the lead goes, Devin Morgan is about to put Schaefer under fire. Riding on board the back bumper, taking a look at Morgan in the 112. He's going to have to wait for the right moment. He will take the right moment as well as we're closing in on the closing laps of this race. Here comes Morgan to the inside. He looks to the inside, but no movement. And look at that, protecting the inside lane. Look at the top side. Morgan trying to take to the top side. It's not going to work. That's going to get Schaefer loose. And look at to the inside. Finally, Devin Morgan will make a move. Or should I say, finally, Devin Morgan will get to the inside. But it was only for a time being. Now we'll take to the top side in turns 3 and 4. He's trying every single line, and it's going to work off the corner. At the line this time around, it was Schaefer with his 93rd lap lead. And just like a side draft at Daytona, Schaefer Jr. has just fallen back a significant amount. But then again, Schaefer could have just backed off. So there goes the 93 lead lap streak. New leader, the 112 of Devin Morgan on lap 95. This time around. So now the question is, how long can Morgan hold on to the lead? And I think that's an instantly rhetorical question, because if we take a look at the driver comparison, 0.5 seconds already. Morgan was being held back. Now not even point, but look at this, 0.2 of a second faster as Morgan. Morgan has set up that car to perfection. That time around, it was virtually identical lap times. Just decided to stay for the 0.03 second difference disadvantage to Joe Schaefer. This time around, about 0.5 seconds, slowly starting to gain, and Schaefer is now 0.01 seconds away. Exactly 0.01 second. From making this an identical lap time. This time around across the start-finish line, as Morgan has stuttered about at the 0.6 gap. Morgan still faster than Schaefer. This could be the race already. Well, other than that, side by side from Canfield and Pataska. Pataska's working his way back up through the field, trying his best to. And as for 9th place, Justin LeDuc and Michael Goddard, 10th and 9th. I saw LeDuc was making a look to the inside earlier on. Chris Canfield is doing his signature sliding off the corner every single lap. It doesn't look like it. Let's take a look at his in-car. It's barely on the bottom left-hand side. Oh, just a little bit. Oh, a lot. Never mind. Yep, he's still doing his signature wheeling off the corner. Someone's in the outside wall there. It's a battle between Stenjum and Robinson. Both of these drivers have had bad luck. Oh, Robinson slides up loose off the corner. He still takes to that top side. And finally, Stenjum comes out front for position at number 11. As far as the lead gap, it is almost a second between Morgan and Schaefer. And this could be the first time we are actually approaching lap traffic in any of these nights. At least nights 2 through, well, not the first time we leave. It's not exactly the first time we've reached lap traffic. The occasional 1 or 2 cars at a very reasonable distance. I don't think Morgan even has to worry about this. I don't think he's going to. 21 laps to go at the start-finish line. Devin Morgan at the start-finish line will lead his 11th lap. A little bit of a wiggle off turn 4, it seems. 21 laps to go for Morgan. So Devin Morgan comes across the back straightaway with 19 laps to go at the start-finish line. And this could be Joe Schaefer just watching his lead slip away, watching his second chance to win tonight slip away even more. He could have another chance, but it's 1.1 seconds between himself and the leader just in front of him. That first car in this shot. Meanwhile, Ryan Matthews, 3rd place, has been pretty much all night. His lowest position was where he started, was 4th place. So nothing too major for him going on tonight. He's doing a great job, though, hanging on to this podium position in 3rd. Someone just blew an engine in front. That was Tim Bills. Tim Bills had just blown an engine in front of the leaders, and somehow, some way, there was no caution, there was no contact. Replay on your screen makes contact with Brian Helm. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but that was just in front of Devin Morgan. And that was really, really dangerous for all those drivers involved. Morgan had just gotten by Brian Helm as well. He's having a few technical difficulties with his connection, but he will be fine as we are on 14.5 laps to go. Ryan Matthews could strike for 2nd. He's right on top of that back bumper of Schaefer Jr. Not the first time Schaefer had someone on top of his back bumper. It may not be the last time either at this rate. Look at Dante Curtis lurking in 4th place in case anything happens. '51 of Matthews. Can he get to the inside in turn 3 and 4? He does. He's given the position on the inside. And Schaefer may come off victorious on the top side, and he will. The only driver to better use that outside lane than Schaefer is Devin Morgan. He's currently in the lead. He's been in the lead for the past, what is now, 20 laps. No, make that 21 laps as the scoring updates. So now under fire for 3rd place is going to be Dante Curtis. Ryan Matthews. As Dante Curtis is going to put the offensive on Ryan Matthews, just not yet. As for the leader himself, well, Morgan has 1 more lap car to go with 9 laps to go, and he is pretty much home free after that. 1.6 seconds between him and the number 6 in 2nd place, Joe Schaefer Jr. So they're going to navigate around this lap car. And they're going to try their best to. And they'll all safely make it through. As Matthews could look to the inside. He looks to the inside, but he doesn't get there. Leaving the inside open on the exit of turn 4. But still keeping that 2nd place position. Defending that position as much as possible. Ryan Matthews is going to try and attack for that 2nd place as much as he can, but may not be enough. As Morgan is officially home free at this point. He has no lap cars in front of him. I believe, yeah, he's got a clear track in front of him for the next, what is now going to be 5 laps. Except for that 1 car in the distance, but he should be able to make it. 5 to go. As Curtis, as should I say, is Schaefer Jr., Matthews, and Curtis. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They're all under a blanket. They're all going to be trying to go after each other for their own positions. Curtis going to try and go, well, maybe not. Curtis going to wait. Nearly uses the bumper. Now he'll move to the inside. He's going to be moving his way a 3rd on the inside. He'll make it. Will he make contact with Matthews, though? Is the question. You can see how close he is. He's going to back out twice there. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to squeeze Matthews into that 36. Very, very smart move. There's that 1 lap car that was in the very distance of Devin Morgan, I believe. May not be, however. 2 laps remain at New Smyrna. And it's 2 laps for Devin Morgan as he's led 30 laps. Which means he's taken over the lead. 32 laps to go from Schaefer Jr. with an outside pass. White flag this time for Devin Morgan. Does he have enough to make it is the question. Distance, 2 seconds. Battle for third could be happening as Devin Morgan wins at New Smyrna. Ryan Matthews will finish in third. And a wonderful, wonderful race to end out this event and this week, essentially. Great job by Devin Morgan. And congratulations to him. Carter's going to give a congratulatory hello by being alongside him. And Devin Morgan will celebrate at New Smyrna. You can see his brake rotors are still glowing. Oh my goodness. Well, your winner for tonight, of course, we will get an interview with him and your champion as well when we get confirmation about that. Until then, though, Devin Morgan, Joe Schaefer Jr., and Ryan Matthews, first, second, and third. We'll get an interview with Morgan, possibly the rest of your top three, possibly not, but definitely your champion when notified. Dante Curtis finishes in fourth. Fifth place will be Chris Canfield. Sixth place will be Dallas Pataska. Seventh, David Krikorian. Eighth place will be Michael Goddard. Ninth, Justin LeDuc. And 10th is Riley Stengham. After running into, quite literally, running into a few problems earlier on in the night, he still manages a great top 10 finish. Devin Rogers finishes 11th. 12th is Ryan Doucette. 13th, Mark Royer. 14th is Brian Helm. 15th will be Alan Jocelyn. 16th, Tim Bills. Derek Robertson finishes 18th. 19th, Derek Robertson finishes 17th. 18th will be Andre Fiorni. And Sean Hatfield rounds out your 19-car field for tonight. Ryan Matthews. Maybe, yeah, we're going to go ahead and interview Ryan Matthews here in a few moments, actually, since we do have just a little bit of time. Apologies for the double audio there over on the stream side, as monitoring is enabled occasionally. We will also get to Devin Morgan, who is also standing by. So we will go ahead and start with your third place finisher, Ryan Matthews. If Schaefer does show up, then we will go ahead and interview him as well. But for starters, to start off, we're going to go with Ryan Matthews, who managed to hold off for a third place finish. Managed to hold off Dante Curtis. So we will get a word with him here in just a couple of moments. All right, Ryan Matthews, do you have us?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations. You managed to pull off a third place finish by holding off Dante Curtis in the final few laps, and apparently just had a reset that real quick. Had a few technical issues all of a sudden. Sorry about that. We had a few technical issues all of a sudden. Aside from that, hit the wrong button, basically. You managed to hold off Dante Curtis for a third place finish, so congratulations for that. How's the track out there tonight?
It was pretty good. I was really just riding behind Joe and Dallas the first half of the race, and me and Devin kept on swap. But my setup kind of went from tight for like 10 laps to loose the next 10 laps, and kind of kept on switching back and forth. But we had a good car. The last 5 laps just went to crap. But I was able to hold off for a third place.
I definitely did a wonderful job at that. So, well, how was the handling on the car? Well, actually, not even the handling. I actually go with pit strategy instead. Did you think about any type of pit strategy before the race had started?
No, we actually couldn't take tires in this race. I think the modifieds could, but yeah, we couldn't take tires this race.
Yeah, that is definitely correct for the tour mods. So, well, before we go ahead and let you go celebrate your third place finish, is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for that tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank Todd Kirkwood at SMS, my dad at S&M Auto, all my teammates at Leduc Matthews Racing, and congrats to Chris on his fifth place finish. He finally pulled off a top five after the multiple outside of the top 10 finishes, but congrats to him. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, we are going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations once again on your third place.
Thank you.
So that was the third place finisher of Ryan Matthews, and we will be getting your second place finisher, Joe Schaefer Jr. here in just a few moments' time. He was doing so well, and unfortunately had the lead taken from him literally right at the last second on the outside. Unfortunately, he's very well aware of that, but he does manage to come across with a second place finish. So we will get him in here in just a few moments. Now, Joe Schaefer Jr., do you have us?
I got you.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish. Well, not really. Well, in a way, congratulations because you still finished in the top three. I'm kind of torn because you had gotten passed on the outside somehow by Devin Morgan. So after that, he just completely broken away. Did you expect that? Because I sure didn't.
No, I had. I mean, what that race was the definition of what is wrong with iRacing. There is no way I should have been able to lead that race for 93 laps, but passing is just so difficult. And honestly, I knew he was driving it in hard to get me. And if I would have stood on the throttle, I probably could have cleared him. But I also might have wrecked across his nose coming off that corner. So I was just tired of fighting it and figured I'd cut him a break and let him go. It didn't make any sense for me to hold him up any longer.
It is quite understandable, especially with some things are always a work in progress as well, but it is actually pretty understandable. So you did manage to at least come away with a second place finish. How's the handling out there for tonight?
It started terrible and got worse. And that's just, I mean, that's the fastest setup we've had, and it's still terrible compared to, whatever some of these guys have figured out for the long run. I mean, I don't have the slightest idea of what they're doing to make this broken car go that fast. So I'll keep fighting it. I mean, always do. No matter how mad I get, I keep coming back. So just learn from it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely learn and at least try to adapt to at least the best as possible. So before we let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for second place?
Yeah, I thank the posse for helping out and Jason for being in my ear during the race.
Well, we are going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations on your second place.
All right, thank you.
And your race winner will be coming up along with your champion here in a few moments. First, the race winner, of course, is going to be the number 112 of Devin Morgan. My goodness, how did you, A, manage to pass on the top side and then not just manage to pass on the top side because you were stuck in about pretty much third and fourth for a while there. So that is very impressive.
Yeah, the car was just pretty good all over the racetrack there, and I was able to get up in front of Ryan, and at that point I knew I was pretty good because I was able to match up myself with Joe and Dallas and see how they were and where I was better than them at, and I was able to get under Dallas there and get around them, and then they had that incident behind me there that allowed me to get a gap and be able to go after Joe one on one, and then
And definitely did a wonderful job at performing that move as well. So that's actually in turns 3 and 4 as well. So that is definitely the most impressive outside pass I have seen in iRacing at least. So how's the track out there, or at least the tire conditions at the end of the race?
The tire conditions were pretty good for me at least. I was able to run about the same lap times from lap 40 to the end there, just falling off about a tenth and a half. Track condition was pretty good. The bottom in 3 and 4 kept getting really high. I felt, and I've been good on the outside all weekend down there in 3 and 4, and I knew that was where I was gonna have to make a pass. I was gonna be down there.
That's definitely a great job at taking opportunities. So before we let you go, anyone that you have to thank for your race win here tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank BKPR, Skyacres Chassis, Innovative Manufacturing and Design, Shore to Shore, and Andre Florini for the setup.
Well, we are going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations on your win tonight.
Thank you.
And finally, your champion, the number. Oh, goodness. And finally, your champion, the number 23 of Dallas Pataska. Congratulations, Pataska. My goodness, you have definitely been through a lot lately, and somehow you still managed to come away with the championship, finishing in 6th. So that is definitely impressive in its own right.
Yeah, it's definitely not the way that I wanted to win the championship, but at the end of the day, I won the championship, so that's the big deal. Really just these colder temps kind of mess with the car. I wasn't expecting it to be so cold, and then on top of that, the car just did not react well. I couldn't get the front end to turn at all night. So definitely not what I was hoping for tonight, but at the end of the week, I'm very happy with where I'm sitting.
Yeah, that's of course at the top of the podium essentially in terms of points, and of course in a way you're also proving that not everyone has to get a top 5, top 10, or let alone a win to really win a championship. So it's still impressive as well in that type of a mindset too. So for you, how's the car handling out there for tonight? You did mention the cold temperatures.
Yeah, I think this was probably one of the coldest nights for us with the Super, and it just didn't react well. It was a bigger change than what I would have thought, which is unfortunate, but I made the best of it. I had some tough racing incidents, but um, I'm not gonna hold a grudge over it. I'm the champion of the week, so that's what's important.
Yeah, that is definitely the most important, as well as bragging rights too, I believe. So well, definitely bragging rights. I mean, you did win a championship, so after all of this and a very exciting weekend, well, goodness, after a very exciting week, I'm pretty sure your shoulders are just a little bit sore at this point.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, it's definitely had its wear and tear on me this week. It's definitely been a long week, but um, all the work leading up to this week has, made it all worth it, having this championship under my belt now.
Yeah, hopeful endurance is sometimes the best endurance in some cases. So before we let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your championship win here tonight?
Yeah, of course. I'd like to thank everybody over at Dynamic Autosports for supporting me and this run this week, helping with the car and the weeks leading up to this. I'd like to thank the guy that put together my scheme, close friend Garrett Mashburn over at GM Racing Designs. I'd like to thank Matt for putting all this on. He works really hard at it, and he does a good job. And I'd like to thank yourself for putting on the broadcast.
I definitely thank you for your time to come chat with essentially me, I guess in this case, after the race, and of course, congratulations once again on your championship.
Thank you.
Really forgotten how to say the word championship. So before we sign off, or in this case, it's more of an interchangeable thing at this point, I guess. But before signing off, I would like to say thank you to the EastWest Promotions and Matt Rolfe for having this opportunity, or for at least giving me the opportunity to broadcast this almost this entire week, a majority of this week, I should say, for this race. It was absolutely wonderful, and it was completely amazing to really, just chat with the drivers, figure out how everything is going on, how they're experiencing their setups, the races, the downfalls at some points, the bad luck. But other than that, we will be going back to a regularly scheduled schedule of Sundays and Mondays. Sundays is the My Turn Racing Truck Series over on the YouTube channel. If you don't want to miss that, go ahead and head over to the RL. Well, in this case on YouTube, it would be RLBN / Racing Line Broadcasting Network. I believe it would show up with just Racing Line Broadcasting Network. If you're watching from YouTube, go and subscribe to there. If you're watching from Facebook, go ahead and follow the page of the Racing Line Broadcasting Network, essentially, which is the our own Facebook page, which is now up. On Sundays, we have the My Turn Racing Truck Series. They're going to finish out their season on March 3rd, and their start times are at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Time. As for the Monday series, that starts at about 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That is a Red Light Scrambler series where they switch between the top 3 NASCAR race cars, depending on pretty much just whatever track that they want to at that point. Or it's a totally random choice, it seems. Very fun random choice, however, as well. So, as we sign off, we hope to see you next time here on the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Thanks to EastWest Promotions, SARA, and TNT Family Investments, along with Matt Rolfe for, again, giving me this opportunity to broadcast the 4 nights of the week that we could broadcast. We thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you next time.